Hey, this is Steven from Legit PC, and I'm still slightly under the weather from my last review, but I'm going to go ahead and do this, continue on with this review. So this is, because I have, this is the last day I'm calling off of work, so I have the day off of work. It's about 7 o'clock in the afternoon, so I thought, hey, let's do a review because I have about an hour 2 hours of manual labor I gotta do around the house, and so I won't be by my computer. Perfect time to spend about an hour and 30 minutes uploading the video. So, basically, we're going to be reviewing Satisfactory, which is available on um, the Epic Game Store. Just like my last game. Well, no, the last game was on Steam, was $30. This one I'm going to have to look at during the game to figure out what it is. Let me see. Let's go ahead and see. This game is store Satisfactory. Let me see. It is also $30. So this is a $30 game available on the Epic Game Store, I believe exclusively. I'm not quite sure. I would definitely look into that, but that's where I have it, is on the Epic Game Store. It's $29.95, and I have currently about 35 hours into my current play session on the Satisfactory game. So they've been patching it. It is early access game, so they are still adding a lot of different features to the game, and they want to get the game. They're trying to add more and more features, so more and more buildings, more and more items, more unlockables, fixing bugs, and all that kind of jazz. So if we look on this other screen, oh, we can't because it's got focus. Basically, this is update number 2, is the trains and nuclear. So this update's 7/15, 2019, July 15, 2019. So by the time you get the game, it might have some different things. This is a recent update, so you might not even have played it since. So let's go ahead and look at some of the options here, some of the video options. So all the big guys, I play this, again, I forgot to mention this on my Frostpunk game, but I run a 1060 Ti, I have a 1060 3 gig GTX, and I have an i5 9 series, I believe it's 9, was it 9570K or 9550K or something like that. But the i5, the unlocked i5, Intel i5 of the 9 series. SSD, standard stuff. Yeah. Anyways, so that's what I run. So no problem running everything on Ultra. I'm getting 100 frames right now inside of the main menu. So basically, you have new game, join game, load. I believe in new game you could kind of pick your different areas. You could either do a private or friends only. I have not done friends only, and I've only done grassy fields. I don't want to spoil it too much as far as these different places in order to talk about the exploration. So we could also join game, which is probably, I guess it's not only private, friends only right now. So they have not done that yet. So let's go ahead and jump in and show you guys what this game is like and kind of what I do with it. So the idea of the game is there's this fixed sit, FICS IT, you're like a technician for them, and your job is to go down to one of those 3 maps, which I'm sure they're going to expand on, and you build components with these buildings to send up into space to build some sort of grander building inside space with this giant space elevator. And you use this guy to send equipment that you manufacture up to space, and for them to assemble something in space, and then you get unlockables for that. So as you're playing the game, you go over here and you have these different milestones that you could select in order to get different upgrades. Logistics upgrades, overclocking, production, different stuff, color gun, all different kinds of stuff. And this stuff is, so this is all the new stuff. This is the trains and nuclear. So expanded power infrastructure, fuel generator, nuclear, I'm assuming. And down here is what you need to get the milestone. So we need 200 motors, 75 modular frames, and 75 computers. So as you see, I'm towards the end. I haven't messed around with any of the new stuff because it just takes so long to get there. It'll probably take me another 25 hours to get there. Everything that they add, if it's towards the end section, it takes way, way longer. You see space elevator. It takes way longer to get there. For example, here is the next one, which is systems. I'm guessing that is the I'm not even sure what is even that next step. Obviously, I don't want to spoil too much. That's why I am going to do this review, as I haven't unlocked everything yet. But I want to do this review just so I didn't want to spoil things too deep in the game, as this is kind of the basic stuff and you'll be here for a while. So you see here, basically I have to do that stuff for the sky tower there. And so if we go over here, you'll notice what that entails. So if we go back over here, I think it's like 2,000 of each stuff. 1,000 motors, 1,000 computers, and 1,000 upgraded frames. Now, how do you do that? So in the game, you have to mine a raw material. For example, here is the miner for iron ore. So you have these different stations. This is a iron mine, and if we look at, I believe it's C. So here, raw quartz, iron ore, copper ore, limestone, coal, and crude oil. I haven't done anything with crude oil yet, so those are different power plants. So there, if we send out this pulse using this thing in my hand, and what it will do is it will find stuff and it will pop it up on my map. So if you see up there on the top, see it says south on my compass at the top, it'll show iron ore and all that jazz. So let's look at, so you see it, did you see it pop up there? So that's crude oil, and I just popped up for iron. Obviously we just went past an iron. We see the next iron 73 meters that way. Actually that's really close. Oh, I see it, it's right there. Oh, it's on the other side of this hill, I think. What? Oh, it's under me. Probably that's probably a cavern down here. And then there's like a collectible, and then there's this very strange thing that flies around. That I would like to get the jetpack. There is a jetpack, so I was thinking I would fly up there. He flies underneath, so fly up there and go underneath. So you get your iron, you get your raw materials from here, and then you put it into a smelter of some sort, or something to turn it into your basic component. For example, here we have iron ingot, and then we have these logistic things in order to split the supply in order to go into multiple different places. So we have another one here that we could have gone to a third one of these constructors. And basically the constructor takes the iron ingot or the copper ingot. I have copper right there. There's a copper ingot. That comes from a copper mine all the way down there. And what those do is they combine the pieces. These guys basically produce these pieces. For example, here, these are iron plate, and then I have it stored inside a storage container, and the storage container is full, so everything is backed up. Same deal here. We have copper ore going in. This guy is actually creating concrete, and then it goes into a concrete storage, and the concrete storage is also full. Then we have copper wire. Copper wire is going in. Copper wire is being used down there to make motors, and I'll show you guys how that works shortly. And then a big component is power. So you can see these power lines going back and forth to all the machines. When you first start out, you have these guys which are basically biomass burners, which are the most inefficient way of doing it. And in order to do that, you go over here, you go over to different spots, and you grab leaves and stuff, and you could burn the leaves or create it into a better, more efficient biomass, or you could research using this guy over here. You could research biomass, different and better biomasses that take longer to go through a unit of energy. And then from here you draw power lines out to each of your structures you see here. And then you have these posts which could only hold, I think, 4 of the power lines. And one of those 4 have to come from something that will supply it with power. So you kind of have to put these strategically in order to get them over there. And then each of these plants could only produce so much power, and at one point they will overload and they will stop functioning. So you have to look into that as well. For example, here is a upgraded one. This is a coal generator. So it takes coal from this coal mine, which was the closest coal mine. I have two generators, one there, one here, and all the raw energy comes from this coal mine, which is all the way down here across this bridge. You see it's down there. Coal mine comes at the elevator. These are just basic conveyor belts, and there are some glitches where stuff's going through the floor. It looks like they fixed most of it. It's just like going kind of through the floor, through the grass. So there are some issues. I mean, it doesn't affect playability. And then here it splits. One goes in this generator, the rest goes down here and goes to the center generator. And then they have the, I guess, the combined assemblers or constructors. Or this guy's similar to the smelter over there. It takes 2 materials, which are iron ore and coal, and of course produces iron, and coal will produce steel ingot. And then with the steel ingot, I'm creating steel pipe. And then I'm taking the copper pipe from over there with all these fix-it guys over there, and I'm creating a stator motors. Or yeah, so basically the stator, the part that spins in an RC. Actually, well, the stator is the electromagnet. So it depends on what type of motor you have. Stator in this case is the stationary part of the motor, and the bell is the outside part of the motor, right? And then those guys go into storage down here, and then they go into different pieces here. So this is from our iron. So from iron we create. Oh, this is from steel or iron. This is iron, I think. Yeah, iron ingot. We are creating iron pipe or iron rod. And the iron rod we're using with to create screws. And we're also using that same iron rod, so screws are made in the constructor, and we're using the same iron rod to create a, oh, why do we have a little, oh, that's weird, that's a glitch. See that little black box? That's not supposed to be there. Anyways, so these are the rotors. So we have rotor and stator, and the rotor and stator together, which is creating right now with this really cool animation. The rotor and the stator creates a motor. You'll see the motor come out. There it is. So there's the motor. And then the motor goes in storage. So I have to produce 1,000 of them. So we have 100. Here's pretty close to another 100. So I only have 150. So I have a long way to go. So usually what I'll do here on this game is I'll leave it, I'll kind of build stuff, and then I'll leave it open to produce, and then I'll unlock something and then play more. But the idea is that you set this guy up to produce, and then you go and explore the world. I don't know if there's even a map. I think you can unlock a map, but the world is pretty massive. And there's a lot of dangers on the way. So you could unlock different guns. For example, here's a rebar gun that shoots rebar. And then you have this stabbing guy and lance. And you can get a longer lance for increased melee capability, and then you could upgrade this guy so you get better damage from a distance, or even probably put a clip in it instead of having to do individual reloading. But all that, and then if you don't want to do any of that stuff with the machines that automate everything, you can manually build all of it. And so here's some of the advanced stuff, computers, and then here's the biomass I was talking about. Circuit boards, rubber, fuel, plastics, and then we have to build some of these heavy modular frames, steel pipe, okay, and then encased iron industrial beam, which uses concrete. Okay, good, because I have plenty of concrete. And then all those got to go in there and then shoot them up into space and get a new unlockable, or we could unlock stuff from here, but basically what that sky elevator does is it unlocks new tiers. So the next unlocked tier is tier 7, which it doesn't look like it's even ready yet, tier 7, because it says trains and nuclear. Not unless that's in here somewhere. Oh, that might be nuclear. Okay, tier 7 is probably nuclear. So that's the next upgrade, and then I would have to unlock that milestone, and they have different options inside of that that tier list for different milestones. You see that this one, the one I'm working on, is improved melee combat, so I could go and fight more monsters and stuff. Or I could go increase logistics, and another big thing about this is that if you have a tighter space, like those other maps, you can go 3D with this. You could start building up, and then you could put like floors and stuff. There's some people have built some crazy factories in 3D, which I would like to try at some point as they continue to unlock this. So another big thing is about the world. Let me see. Oh, I got a truck now? I need heavy modular frame. I don't want to do that. And two steel frames. Let me see if I could show you guys a little bit. We'll go on the road here, and I'll show you guys how to build some stuff. So you just need some steel frame. Modular frame. Okay, I need some upgraded plate. I store some. Here's my storage. Reinforced plate. I got it. Okay. Okay, we got it. And then I need these beacons. Need some iron rod. Could steal it from here, but I think that... Ooh, yeah, I could definitely steal it from here. Okay, so let's go back over here, create a beacon. I think it's 3. Uh-oh. Okay, I need some cable. Copper wire. Okay, so now... Oh, I need 5 of them. What do you need? More copper wire? Do I have any cable in here? Nope. This could definitely use some taking from. I mean, it basically runs over that storage all the time. Okay, so let's go here. Let's create some more cable. Go back over here. Oh, and I need wire. Okay. Cable and wire. Wow. You can see that the cables produce rather quickly. Oops. There we go. So that's how you build stuff. And obviously this was more easy to build. And then we're going to need some fuel to put in there, which it doesn't look like I have. Let's go grab some fuel. So this is kind of the daily, what it would be like here and there. So Biomass. I think I got some fuel in here somewhere. Oh, or I could do coal. Put coal in it. Let's put some coal. Alright, so let's go over here. Let's go to the gas tank. Vehicle. Let's put some coal in it. Alright, now, oops. So I'll show you guys a little bit of a trip around. So there are exotic wildlife and stuff going around. Obviously very, what is that, No Man's Sky-esque. So you'll see these different things, and there's different collectibles that are like that thing you see up there on the rock. It's a power slug. It allows you to overclock your buildings. But there are a lot of different exotic animals, and then here we have 2 new resource stations. So we could send resources back. Oh, here's an animal. But usually, of course, you gotta kill it. Where'd he go? There's a day and night cycle, of course. Let's turn on light. There we go. Ooh, got him in the head. And so you see here he's dropping some stuff that we could use. There is a spot inside of my little, I guess you could say my office. There's a spot inside of my office where I could take these different things that I find on the road, and you can see there's this big tall walking thing that doesn't really do anything. I could take stuff in there and unlock new milestones that I could use to build different stuff. For example, like I said, overclocking. There's another one of those guys. Overclocking my buildings, and also sometimes you come across these guys, which are basically these. Every time you unlock a milestone, in order to get the milestone, you have to wait until one. Ooh, oh, this is the range guy. Ow. And I'm sure this varies depending. Yeah, he's dead. I'm sure this all varies on the map. And so, for example, we come here and look at that. Basically, we could take a wire and bring it all the way over here, and then be able to open that up and see what's inside. So, unfortunately, it went into the night cycle. There is a day and night cycle, and then also you could do things where you could put stuff really far apart, and you could actually have the vehicle. If you look down at the bottom right, you see vehicle path. You could actually automate the vehicle so that it will follow a path, and then you could build a tractor depot back at your main facility to accept inputs from all over. So there's a lot of different exotic wildlife that is around that you could find, and definitely a lot of places that you could explore. And a lot of the stuff is dangerous, but there are a lot of places that you could go and you get a jetpack and stuff like that, and be able to travel over, because it's kind of like what is that one? The flying islands in Avatar. It's kind of like that, where there's buildings everywhere. There are big drops, and then you get to other places using either jetpack, or you could build a conveyor belt down there and just ride on the conveyor belt. There are a lot of different ways, and so the main idea, the main way that this was designed to be played is back at the base. You have everything. You have your fuel automated and everything automated, so it's just producing stuff 24/7 as long as you're playing the game. And then when you have all that stuff set up, then you're able to leave the base and go and explore the world and look at these creatures and all that kind of stuff to explore and expand your base to get oil. For example, oil's way over there. Oil's way over there. So ooh, there's a slug up there. The next thing I have to do is I have to go explore over there in order to get oil, and then I'll probably have to explore to find stuff for nuclear. So there's all different places that you could explore. I've only kind of stayed here, and I've explored locally and done all that kind of stuff, but I haven't really gone that far. So there are so much more stuff that you could do to be able to explore this world and figure out what there is to see, and new resources to build new buildings, to expand your base. Oh, this is the ship I was talking about. So I really enjoy it. The graphics are amazing. The guys did a really good job. Obviously, you saw with this thing right here, I mean, that's a little bit of a glitch. They're kind of like going through each other. But they did a really good job putting this game together. I like the music choice. I like the colors. I mean, pretty much everything has the same color tone. I like the background idea that you're this mechanic guy, and you have to establish, help them build stuff. And I like how they did. It's kind of realistic, I guess you could say, how they did the construction. You know, you combine coal with what is it? Coal with steel. What was it again? Coal. Oh, coal with iron. Yeah, of course. You combine coal with iron to make steel, and then you can make hardened beams, or you can make iron rod, or you could, and then use different types of fuels. You could use oil, nuclear, biomass, coal, all that kind of stuff to produce different amounts of energy, and then you could always expand. So I'm super excited when these guys add all the way up to like tier 10 or something like that, and then it really has a pretty vast playability, because I don't even know how big the map is. Oh, speaking of which, oh, I forgot, you take fall damage. Here's the guy that you could take stuff to, and or you could take stuff in and yeah, so see here, I just did that one, and now I can unlock to be able to overclock my stuff. And we see hard drives. You see hard drives, crystal oscillators, all these types of different things we could use. Sulfur for something. You can see this is like a little station here with bed and stuff. This is kind of supposed to be my office or whatever. So I think that it's a really great game. I played 35 hours. Most of it was me doing something else and then it running in the background to produce this stuff. But again, like I said, it's mainly designed for you to set up high production and then go and explore for the next 1 hour or whatever, and come back and then upgrade the next thing, and then maybe take some time off, go get something to eat, come back. Obviously, I would suggest that if you do that, don't do it how I'm doing it. Drop the resolution and the quality, because the computer gets super hot, turns into a space heater in here when I'm doing that on here, because it is still loaded. I'm getting 55 frames right now on a 1063 gig. So, but I really enjoy it. That's kind of all I'm going to get into. Obviously, you could play with friends as a group. I think that would be kind of interesting. So that would be definitely something to try. I don't know how well it works, and it looks like eventually they'll have servers to be able to do that, where you could play with other people. Alright, so that is pretty much it. A lot of different things that you could do, and they're expanding on it. I think I've had this game for a couple months. But it already looks like they're working on update number 3, and they've done two updates since I've started playing, and so soon I'm sure pretty soon we'll be up to update number 3 and have a whole bunch of other cool things. Trains is super cool. Nuclear is also super cool. Nice form of energy. I could drop down from 2 power plants down to 1. Actually, do I have 2 or 3? Yeah, 2. Actually, I have 3. I think there's another one down there. I have 3. So drop down from 3 down to 1. First with fuel, and then nuclear I could power stuff from very far away. So I'm excited to start trying trains and stuff like that. But I haven't got there quite yet. And like I said, from each successful reach of the previous level, the next level is a very long way away. Alright, I think I've talked enough about this game, so go ahead and check it out on the, if you like what you see here and you're kind of mechanical minded like I am, and you enjoy these kind of builder games and exploration games, kind of like, I guess you could say No Man's Sky. I've never played it, but kind of like that. And you enjoy doing these unlocks and kind of designing things and going maybe even 3D with it, going up. This is the game for you. So Epic Games Store, $29.95. This has been Steven from The Legit PC. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you like this review, please subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next review. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.